So in Chapter 1, I introduced you to the very humble and empathetic Canadian YouTuber known as Foodie Beauty. Today in Chapter 2, I'll be discussing the treatment of her adorable senior cats, her impeccable driving, and the lovely way she describes other people. Her cats, BBJ and Sam, are freaking adorable. I'm a cat person. I have raised cats my whole life. I currently have 4 adult cats, 3 that I rescued and 1 that I've had since he was a kitten. Plus I have 4 kittens that were just born about 3 weeks ago, and a ton of feral cats outside that I inherited when I bought my home. Foodie's cats are both senior cats, meaning they need some extra grooming and nail trims at the very least. They also need to see a vet. She basically ignores these things. Her cat BBJ at one point had an overgrown infected nail growing into its little toe bean, and it was so bad the cat didn't even want to eat, which is dangerous for a number of reasons. My daughter has a senior cat who has nails that do this, and guess what? I trim her nails every couple of months, just so she is healthy and feeling good. Crisis averted. All you gotta do is trim the nails. Foodie also hasn't taken BBJ to the vet in at least a few years. She recently took Sam in, allegedly, to the vet for a trim and some general grooming, which is good for Sam, but BBJ is older and really needs to see the damn vet. Sam is her long-haired cat, and he's getting older, meaning he isn't always able to properly groom himself, and his fur has a tendency to get matted. These are common problems with long-haired cats. All you need to do is keep your cat trimmed and keep your cat combed. Simple fixes. You could probably go to Dollarama or Dollar Tree and get pet grooming supplies for next to nothing. And another thing that goes along with having a long-haired cat, sometimes when they use the bathroom, that can get in their fur and cause issues. Foodie, being the immaculate pet parent she is, doesn't even like to regularly change their litter. And the majority of the time, she has her roommate do it or help her do it because she can't do it on her own. I have a few litter boxes in my house, and I manage to change them all by myself on a regular basis, because if the litter box isn't clean, your cats are going to find elsewhere to go to the bathroom, especially if they're older cats. It's not good for anybody. I've seen in some of her videos that she is out of cat food or really low on cat food and has to make a mad dash to the store to get more. I feed lots of cats every day, actually twice a day, and I have never run out of pet food, like not even once, because I plan ahead. I also live in an area that it's common to have a flash flood. I live right across from a river. So I'm setting up a little pet pantry, so if for some reason I get flooded in my house, I have stuff here that I can make pet food with, because I don't want my pets to suffer if I'm unable to get out and get to the store. And I don't do this because I have like tons of extra money or a lot of space that I'm not using that I need to fill up. I do this because I love my pets and I want them to be comfortable and have what they need no matter what. Also, back when she was talking about getting an apartment with that Gargamel-looking lowlife, she brought up that she didn't even want to take her cats with her, which, firstly, what the fuck? You've had these cats for years, and pets are your family. You take them with you when you go. They are your responsibility. And secondly, he allegedly tried to kick BBJ, and she kept messing with him. I'm sorry, what? Had I been in that situation and saw somebody doing that to one of my cats, they would have been laid out on the ground with a large skillet emblem tattooed on their forehead from me knocking them upside the head. Now that I am all nice and rage-filled, let's talk about her very safe and perfect driving. For context, my partner has a CDL license. He drives professionally, and both of my kids are currently learning to drive, so I am fully aware of what constitutes safe driving. I don't drive personally because I have migraines and I pass out, so medically not safe for me to drive. Also, I have severe anxiety when it comes to driving because I've been a passenger and over 20 car accidents over my lifetime, all where we were hit by another driver who was not paying attention. So this is something that really gets me fired up. Foodie has a history of streaming while driving, which cool. If you can do that and focus on the road, do that. But no, she has a habit of looking at her chat, checking herself out in the screen, or dancing and completely not paying attention to her surroundings at all. One of the worst wrecks I was in was caused by a distracted driver. Our SUV flipped over 5 times on the interstate, rolled multiple times, and almost dropped down a 150-foot embankment. My head went through both back windows, and my body was halfway out the busted back windshield. They had to use the jaws of life to free my mom, myself, and another family member from the vehicle. I was bruised from head to toe. I had glass embedded in my head, face, chest, and torso. If we had went over that embankment, we would not have survived. We would have either not been alive because of the impact, or the gas tank would have ignited. The driver who caused this accident was on the cell phone having an argument with his wife. This was probably 2003, and he was more focused on yelling at her than he was on the road, even though he was driving a big-ass semi-truck. My fiance is a fantastic driver, like his driving record, immaculate. And yet I still have panic attacks every time I'm in a moving vehicle, because people like Chantal think they are able to do whatever they want besides pay attention to the road that they are driving on. Foodie has also admitted to being under the influence while driving. I remember she mentioned a couple times she was on the nose candy and driving, and other times we have seen her live streaming while she is baked or high on edibles. Full disclosure, I take Delta 8 edibles for chronic pain. Weed is not legal in my state, but Delta 8 is. So I am all for people partaking responsibly. But you don't get behind the wheel and put others at risk because you're too much of a dumbass to stay home when you're high. Even when she's sober and alert, she's oftentimes raging or flailing around to show her audience how frustrated she is, all while driving. All of these things make her a dangerous driver. It's bad enough that she does this on clear, warm days, but she lives in Canada. I know how winters are up north. I grew up in Wisconsin. And if she keeps driving like this over winter, it's not a matter of if she will hurt herself or someone else, but a matter of when. Chantal, we all know you don't like following rules, but if you hurt someone because you are not driving safely, you'll end up in jail, a place where they have nothing but rules. Oh, and lots of other people. And we all know how you hate crowds. So for fuck's sake, put the phone down, live stream at home, and quit with the selfish, dangerous driving. And now we've come to our last talking point. The way that Foodie describes other people is pretty gross. I mean, very, very gross, actually. Chantal likes to refer to men by their country of origin or ethnicity when she's being tame. Otherwise, she refers to them by D-size or insults their D-size or the smell or look of their body, which is rich coming from someone whose own roommate has stated that she smells like blue cheese in real life. These are his words, not mine. Foodie likes to fetishize men from other countries. Having a preference is fine. My partner is biracial, and I introduce him by his name, or I call him a nerd because he's a gamer. You can have a nickname for someone that isn't a microaggression. I'm indigenous, and if I was seeing someone and they called me Pocahontas as a cute little nickname, they would get verbally ripped apart and likely catch these hands. It's not cute to do, ever. But especially as a full-grown woman, ma'am, you are 38. Do better. It takes literally 30 seconds to ask someone what they're interested in and use that for a nickname instead of some kind of twisted version of where they're from or the color of their skin. Now, when it comes to other women, Chantal calls women in her own age group grandma. Foodie, you're a year older than me. Does that make you a grandma? No. But it does make you an asshole when you call other women in your age group grandma. She also likes to say other fat women are fatter than her, which firstly, who really cares? Like, honestly, who cares? And secondly, no, the women that you claim are bigger than you just genuinely are not. She also likes to say skinny women look like trees, or they look older, or they look weird. And it doesn't matter if another woman is fat or skinny or the same size as you, none of that matters. I have skinny friends, I have fat friends. Nobody cares, everybody looks different, and that's a great thing. If everybody looked identical to one another, life would be so boring. You also like to make fun of other women's teeth. Ma'am, you don't have $1 million smile. Don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. Also, when you claim to be hotter than 90% of other YouTubers, that was honestly pretty sad. If you had real confidence, you wouldn't need to say these things, because confidence is quiet and insecurities are loud. You also spit a lot of venom at Dee Dee. Granted, I get you're bitter about her taking Gargamel, but yesterday when I heard you say you felt no empathy for her, even when he is hitting her, that was a bridge too far. I can absolutely despise someone, but if I see someone else harming them, I will help them. Abuse is not funny, point blank, period. You're 38. Your audience is not group therapy. You don't get to trauma dump on them and then rage at them when they ask about the things that you told them. You claim to be making all this money, so get a therapist. I sincerely think you have antisocial personality disorder, because I have a family member who has it, and your behavior mirrors theirs perfectly. Does that make you a bad person? No. It means therapy and maybe medicine could help you immensely. You want to do a glow-up arc? Start from the inside, and it'll help you age like wine. If you continue to only focus on the outside, nothing is going to change for you. Holding on to all this bitterness and hatred and anger that you have is going to age you like milk. Nobody wants to be around a person who is not happy in their own life. And ma'am, right now, you are raging at everyone and everything, and your life is spiraling out of control. Okay guys, we have reached the end of chapter 2. Next time in chapter 3, we will go back in time to when Foodie met Nader. You know, when she saw all those red flags waving and thought it was a welcome banner. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon.